blinds were messed with, and I noticed that there was like sheetrock crumbles all over my desk. Like, you know, like the tile crumbles, like sheetrock.
Okay.
So I looked at my desk and I told the other sergeant, because the only time we're in there at the same time is for shift change, because he...
So I guess if you could just, I hate to say like all over again, but kind of provide your statement, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So
I started my shift on 12/7 at 2300. And so I went to my office, and then two of my officers, which I was the sergeant at the time, asked me if they could speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was Officer Anthony Jaramillo, and Gabriel Waters.
Okay.
And so I guess there was an incident a few days prior, I don't know the exact date, where he was on his way home from Albuquerque, I guess, to Albuquerque, and a blue Altima tried to sideswipe him or try to pit him. And so he got off on 12th Street, and I guess his car followed him, and I guess like it was like a mini pursuit. APD helped him and all of this stuff. So he was asking me about it, and he said the guy stuck his hand out of the car. He said, I don't know what was in his hand or anything like that. He was like, oh, but the APD officer said I should have shot him. And I was like, did you see a gun? And he tells me no. And I was like, can you articulate that you were like in danger? And he says no. And I was like, so do you just shoot people to shoot people? And he tells me, well, no. So he goes like that, and it's kind of a vent like this, a little bit older. And he was like, and he looks up. So like, say my desk is across, and he's standing this way, and he looks up, and it's right above where I'm sitting, like to the back. And he tells me, Sarge, there's a camera in your vent. And I'm like, what? And he's like, there's a camera in your vent.
Yeah.
So he's talking to me, and he's asking me what he should have done. And all I could think of is, I changed in my office, I changed in my office, I changed in my office. I took my breast out the other day to pull a sticker out of my boob. Because he did laundry. I'm not trying to make fun of how he did laundry, but he washed it with some of the kids' stuff. And the kids, play outside. So there's a sticker in my bra, and it's bothering me, it's bothering me, it's bothering me. So I went in my office, closed, the blinds are closed. Pulled my vest, I took my vest off, took my shirt off, pulled my shirt down, pulled out my breast, and I pulled the sticker out in my office. The week before of that, and Anthony's talking to me, and I can't function, because I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And the week before, I took my shirt off, I took my vest off, and then like the tight Under Armour shirts?
Yeah.
I don't wear a bra. I don't, but that's my bra, because they're tight. And so I'm stretching in my office because my back hurt, and my nipples are out. I'm sorry to be so weird, but they're out. And so I'm like, oh my God, they saw my boobs. They saw my boobs. Why are they looking at my boobs? And so I was like, it freaked me out. So the guys were like, I'll talk to you in a little bit. And I'm like, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. Like, I didn't even want to be in there because it was gross.
Okay. Who do you work for?
Bernalillo, town of Bernalillo.
How long have you been employed with them?
Since December of 2011.
Okay. Then, so since December 2011 with them, any other previous law enforcement history or anything like that?
I worked for Sandoval County for a year.
Okay.
And then I worked for the city of Grants for 8 years.
For 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you're
7.5, 8. Sorry, around there.
Okay. On this day, on the December 7th,
Mm-hmm.
what was your schedule? Then you're strictly graves, or you guys alternate? Or,
We switch every 3 months, but at the time I was scheduled from 2300 to 07.
Okay. So every 3 months.
And so it was me and the other officer, because one of the officers left at 3. But I felt bad because I couldn't, think, you know what I mean? I had to, sit there and park, and then I would drive, and I would drive, and I'd drive, and then and you know how they tell you, if your mind's not in it, you need to, go home. But he's the only officer. There's nobody to cover. So at 6 o'clock, I called my lieutenant, and he's like, you just need to call Chief. And I'm like, why is there a camera in there? So I emailed them, and I'm like, as a complaint, I'm like, I got changed in my office. You guys can see my nipples. It's demoralizing. It's, And then I told him, I said, I'm not under IA right now. I was like, oh, and there's no court order for it, so why are you watching me in my office?
Okay.
I mean, I had a previous IA for saying I hated men, which I didn't say I hated men, and they demoted me for it. So that's the only thing I could think, you know?
So when did you so you notify your chain of command about the camera?
I did.
When was that?
That same morning. Well, it bled over into...
The 8th, is it?
Yes.
Okay. And who'd you notify?
I notified it HR. I notified Chief Lieutenant Stoyle and the town manager. Because our grievance policy, our policy says that you have to follow your chain of command, and then you have to notify HR and the town administrator.
Okay.
So I follow policy.
So who's you said the lieutenant?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Chris Stoyle.
Do you know how to spell his last name?
Stoyell.
E-L-L. Okay, almost had it. So you notified Lieutenant Chris Doyle, HR, and the town manager?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that? The town?
Ida Fierro.
Ida Fierro?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And HR is Maria Santillan.
Did you hear back from them?
They haven't answered me.
And was that through phone, email? Okay. And I'm assuming you have all that somehow.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And then I sent an email and I asked them, well, if you guys aren't going to answer me, can you call state police? Because I'm like, this is violating, this is demoralizing.
When did you...
The same day.
And you sent it to all three of them?
I believe Chief and Maria.
Chief and HR.
Yeah.
Chief of who?
Chief Broderick Sharp.
Roger?
Broderick. Broderick.
So he's the chief of the PD?
Mm-hmm.
So you sent him an email and who else?
Maria Santillan, the
And
HR manager.
And Maria. And that was on Tuesday, the same day.
It was Tuesday, right?
Or was it Wednesday?
Wait, no. When did you go back?
The 8th? I talked to Jeff. Can I look?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's Tuesday the 8th.
Yeah, thanks.
And that's an email, that was the second email saying that, I guess what was the content in that second email saying?
I don't have the email, but you essentially requested that they contact you guys and launch an investigation as to why the camera was placed in there.
Okay. Was there, in your knowledge, any internal investigation that they said they were going to launch internally for the camera? Did they see anything like that?
And that's what I brought up in the first email. I told them that in the first email. So I did have, like I said, I did have an IA, but the IA specifically says from September 25th until October 2nd. So I asked him in there, I was like, there's no IA that authorizes this. I mean, like, you guys never told me about it, and there's no court order. If you have a copy of the court order, I want a copy of the court order.
Okay. For an IA towards you?
Yes.
Okay. And they didn't have...
They haven't answered me.
I don't want to get into the IA portion of it.
It's already closed.
It's already closed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what was that for?
So I had an individual on FTO.
Mm-hmm.
So this individual rode with me, and there were some issues with him. So he told me, he said one day we were driving, we were going through 528, 550 turning onto 528.
Okay.
And so he said something about going and partying and drinking. And I told him, I said, most cops are very type A personality. I told him, I'd like to think I was type B, but the reality is I am a type A. I said, but not to, be offensive to anybody, I don't like to hang out with most cops. I don't. I said, they're arrogant. I said, they're egotistical. And I was like, I'm married. I have 2 kids. I'm going to hang out with my kids and my husband.
Correct.
No offense. So he turned around and on an exit interview told them that I hated men. I don't hate men. Obviously, I don't hate men. I work in a male-dominated field. Why would I hate men?
Okay.
And then he said that I told him that he needed to leave after 2 years, which is not true either. What I said is he was talking about another officer. We were involved in an OIS, and the officer told him, don't stay here more than 2 years. And he told me, what would you do? I said, in hindsight 2020, I would have left the town of Bernalillo. I wouldn't have stayed there because they tried firing me for having my kid.
Yeah.
So there was a policy issue. We're in the middle of active litigation for it. We've had numerous trials and, going through this because they did. They tried to fire me for having a baby.
Okay.
And so I told him, my perception is not your perception. So don't use what I think as yours. I said, we have a brand new admin right now. I was like, we have all new sergeants. I was like, so it's a different world.
Okay.
So he was like, well, should I leave after 2 years? I was like, that's on you. I can't decide your fate.
Correct.
I was like, I can only tell you what I would have done, which was me.
Okay.
But I'm in a whole different ballgame. First of all, he can't have kids. So why is he going to leave?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so he was like, and I told him, I was like, that officer and I aren't close. It's not for me to tell you how I feel about these people.
Okay.
Like, you need to do it on your own.
So that's why there was
Yes.
an internal investigation launched.
Yes.
Okay. On your knowledge on your policies, procedures, and administrative things with the town, is there any policy, procedure, or thing that allows the department to have recording devices?
The surreptitiously recording? No, it says to the contrary. It says that you're not allowed to surreptitiously record. But it does say that if there is a criminal investigation, then they can put a camera.
That the chief can authorize.
Yes, the chief can authorize.
If there is a criminal
If there is one.
Okay. To your knowledge, is there a criminal investigation?
No, I haven't done anything criminal.
So if there is a criminal investigation, the chief can?
Mm-hmm.
And does it stipulate how and who or anything?
No.
And does it say, like, does he need to get permission before doing that? Or is it like at his discretion? Or just, how's the wording in the policy?
I believe it says upon authorization of the chief of police.
Okay.
And then the next, there's another sentence down below, and it says something to the extent of there'll be no recording in the sergeant's, lieutenant's, or chief's office without their consent or authorization of the chief.
Is that right?
But it's all the same policy, and
Okay.
it's not like it's section 1. It's all the same thing. It's all written as one.
What's that policy? Name, number, or whatever?
Let me see if I have it. I might have taken a picture of it.
And to your knowledge, how many sergeants are in your department?
Right now there's 4. I got demoted.
4. So
Right after this I got demoted.
was there used to be 5 with you?
No, there's
Or there was 4 and now there's 3?
Yes.
well, no, there's 4 now because they promoted another one yesterday.
They filled my spot that day.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see.
No, I didn't take a picture of it. I'm sorry.
It's a general order. It's not an SOP. It's a general order.
And to your knowledge, is there any other cameras in the other sergeants' offices?
No.
Or squad room or anywhere else?
Well, there's the open ones that have always been there. Like, always. So we have the one like those right before evidence, and then we have one right in like the common area, and we have one in the booking area.
Okay.
Those have always been there.
Tell them how they moved it from the vent.
Well, they moved it.
Okay.
So it was in the vent, and then now they stuck
Yeah.
it like on the wall. Like it's conspicuous now. It's not a hidden camera anymore.
Okay, so it's like kind of just mounted on the wall.
There it
though?
is now. That's where they moved it.
Can I see that really quick? Can I zoom in?
Yeah.
That's your office right there?
That was my office. I got kicked out of there. That's my desk in the back. That's where they moved it. I have a picture of where it was before.
And was it on this vent?
Yeah,
And-
it
and
was
this-
hidden in that
in this
vent
Okay. And was it pointing
at my desk.
down at your desk?
Yes.
Okay. Because I think you sent some pictures to.
Yeah, I have them in there if you want to see.
But I guess the picture, I couldn't get a good perspective on it. So now it's over here.
I have a video of it if you want to see.
Okay.
I just couldn't
Yes.
print out the video.
There was a question I was going to ask, but yes, if I could see it, that'd be great. Let me.
Sorry, I have a ton
In
of
your-
pictures of my kids.
In your department, do you guys have?
Here's that order to the order. I did take a picture.
This is posted where?
This is in our general orders. It's on the the
Is it
server.
like on a bulletin or is it like on
on
online?
our server. Yeah.
Okay. December 11, 2018, 2 police department personnel, Mayor Jack Torres, Town Clerk Ada Fierro. Bernalillo Police Department personnel will not surreptitiously audio or video record other police department or town employees regardless of whether you are using personal equipment or department equipment. Not involved in authorized active legitimate criminal investigation. Audio video recording any other police town must be authorized by the chief. It's prohibited until the sergeant, lieutenant, chief's office without their respective authorization or that of the police chief. Use of the Bernalillo Police Department site video recording is for official use and personal use is prohibited. Okay. And have they sent anything else to redact or amend this?
Nope, that's the latest one.
Okay. So in your guys' department, do you guys have like, I have never been to your guys' office, but do you guys have like a gym or
We have
changing stations or something like that?
We have a bathroom, and then the gym is like a portable outside.
Oh, okay.
But so the TAC team guys, they change in there all the time because it's everybody assumes that because it locks, the office locks, and then there's blinds. So when they change in there before a SWAT call out, they change in there because it's private. So even I change in there. I have another video as well.
So was this pointing like towards
Towards
the wall?
No, towards my desk.
So like you see how that cutout, like when you're looking in there and there's that cutout. It was down there pointing.
Not towards everybody, towards my desk.
So it's on that opening.
Yes. And so I got up when I thought they were messing with me. When they first told me, I thought they were messing with me. So I'm like, you guys are full of shit, So I got up there and I climbed up on my thing. The officer held my chair and I climbed up on my little mini fridge and I looked up and I'm like, you have to be kidding me.
When you went in, when we went hunting.
Oh, so my husband and I went hunting and we were gone. So when I returned
When
from
was that?
hunting, and we went from October 28th, 29th, all the way until the 4th. So when I returned on the 4th, I noticed that my blinds were messed with, and I noticed that there was like sheetrock crumbles all over my desk. Like, like the tile crumbles, like
Yeah.
sheetrock.
Okay.
So I looked at my desk and I told the other sergeant, because the only time we're in there at the same time is for shift change, because he's leaving, I'm coming in, right?
Okay.
So we're there probably like maybe 20 minutes with each other. Sometimes if it's longer, it's because either I came in early or he stayed late. So I told him, what the hell, my stuff is moved. And he tells me, he's like, I think Shane was just changing. And I was like, okay. So I was like, hey, but can you tell him if he's changing? That's fine if he closes my blinds, but not to move my stuff. Because it was like all moved. And so, like, I have a calendar, I have like my lotion bottle and stuff, and it comes all the way around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was all moved. And I'm like, what the hell? So I got paranoid, and I'm like, they're messing with me. Like, the guys are messing with me. So I looked around my desk. I looked to see if I could find anything, and nothing. So I looked up, and I'm like, I didn't see anything. So, and I never thought to look in the vent. I never thought, because, why would I think that?
Correct.
And so the next day, it was like that again. So I told Brian, which is Brian Dominguez, I told him, quit messing with my shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you guys doing? And I said, what's going on? And he was like, nothing. He says, Shane's been changing with the recruits, which is the other sergeant. And I'm like, okay. I was like, that's fine. I was like, oh, but my desk has sheetrock on it again. What are you guys doing? Well, I found screws and stuff on my desk as well.
Okay.
And so, and this was in the course of the week that I had returned.
Okay, which is November, you said, right?
November 4th to November, I'm off Fridays and Saturdays. So it was that week.
Okay. So who do you share your office with?
Brian, Shane, and me, Brian, and Shane.
Also 3 sergeants. How big is this office?
I'll show you. You'll see now. Let me get you the video.
What's Shane's last name?
Hernandez. Here you go.
Yeah, that's the video.
Oh, that's your guys' office layout?
Yeah.
Oh, you recorded this on the day after?
The day of. I recorded
Or-
it that night.
Oh, okay. I see, because you went in at 11 p.m. I get you. Okay. And then I see you guys have the camera,
We have surveillance.
surveillance camera, but that one is not linked to
No.
the...
No, because I can see who comes in, I can see who's leaving. So they do that. So like we would know who was in the briefing area and all of that. That way we could watch the parking lots, we could watch. Because we have meetings and stuff in there all the time.
Is this, or like the camera, is it pointing on this side? This side?
See, it's right there, pointing straight down at my desk.
So on this side, the
Yes.
first side.
They moved it though. They moved it. So what happened was is that night I freaked out. Like I freaked out. I told him, I was like, what do I do? And
You told who?
my husband.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't go over there. I'm like, if they've seen my boobs, how do I look at them in the face?
Correct.
Like, what do you do? And so I called in. I called my doctor, and my doctor's like, you need to take a couple days off because you're freaking out.
Okay.
And I'm like, how do I look at you? I mean, if he saw you naked, how are you going to act?
Yeah, no, I understand. It's uncomfortable.
So, and then especially the way our guys are, what are they going to do? Are they going to print those pictures out? Are they going to draw on them? Are they going to send them out? Are they going to put them on YouTube? What are they going to do? How are they going to take me seriously as their supervisor now? This is demoralizing.
Okay. And have you received any answer as of today, Thursday?
No, nothing.
Other than you being demoted?
I came back, I came back on Sunday, so they demoted me on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the Tuesday night after that, I call in to my lieutenant, and I told my lieutenant, I said, hey, my doctor gave me leave, here's my note. And then he was like, well, Chief was going to come in and speak to you about your concerns. And I was like, well, I'm off. I'll have to wait till I get back. You know?
That was this last Tuesday, the 15th?
The Tuesday, it was the 8th. I think.
Oh, Tuesday the 8th after the incident?
Yes.
Okay.
So he speaks to my corporal,
Who?
Andy Chapa.
Well, who?
Chief.
The
Chief, sorry.
chief?
And so Andy calls me, and I talked to Andy about it, and Andy said he flat out asked him, why are you recording in the sergeant's office? Like, you know, and he says, well, it's completely legal. I talked to my attorney in Santa Fe. And that's what Andy told me. And I was like, what? And he said, that's what Chief said, that it's completely legal, that he talked to his attorney in Santa Fe. And I was like, I looked up the law. The law doesn't say that's legal.
Yeah.
And so he got mad. Well, and then Andy calls me last night, or this morning, This morning right after his shift. And he was like, I just got demoted. And I was
Andy?
like, yeah. I
Uh-huh.
was like, why? And he was like, because of the incident that Jaramillo talked to you about me being on a domestic in Berna, and then me not being able to get there. So we're 25 miles away. He was like, so he called APD and he called state to back him up. He couldn't be there. He's on a domestic with 2 rookie officers that didn't even know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, I stayed there. Well, he got written up for it, and then he got demoted. So after he got demoted, he said that Chief started yelling at him about who called state police about the camera.
Okay. So, we haven't reached out,
That's what I'm saying.
so how do they know? Who? You told someone that you already called
I
us?
called my lawyer. I told my lawyer.
Correct, but
I didn't tell
anyone
Andy.
from your department?
No,
Good.
my guys don't know that.
Okay.
I asked about the legality of it to like a friend of mine, and he was like, "No, they can't do that. That's illegal." Mm-mm.
Right.
So then I contacted my lawyer because I was like, what do I do? This is gross. And I'm not the only one who's changed in there. The guys have changed in there too. So depending on how long it's been in there, you're going to see like a lot of naked officers.
So when you came back
This Sunday.
on November 4th, right? I'm just gonna go back a little bit when you saw the things in your office.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, did you see before October 28th? Were you always in your office, or did you see anything like the dusting that you were explaining of the sheetrock, or was it after you came back?
After I came back. Like I noticed somebody had eaten at my desk one day, and they make fun of me for being OCD. So, because I like everything all neat and put, like, you know. So they make fun of me. They were like, oh, you made the office smell like a girl. Or they're like, you dusted, or you did this. So I told the guys, I was like, if you want me to clean and organize all this, that way it looks like, you know, semi-decent. So I noticed, like, my little air freshener was unplugged, and they put it on top of one of the file cabinets and stuff like that. So what do you call it? Other than that, no, just like crumbs and stuff. Like when they were messing with me. Like it was funny, and I get it.
Yeah.
But other than that, nothing like that. Like I never had my drawers gone through. Everything is kind of like organized.
Okay. It was until you came back that you noticed the blinds and then the like
'Cause-
sheetrock dusting, or the
Like yeah,
like if someone drilled something.
Yeah.
Okay.
because it was on my mini fridge, which I mean in the video you can see it's all, you know, directly in the back, and it was all over that, and then it was on so like the side desk, because like there it goes like this and then it comes out, right?
Correct.
So it was all on this side too, and it was on the ledge where the window is that we have and where the blinds are. Because I would open the blinds when I came back, and this was like 2 days in a row. I would open the blinds. So on the last day, I'm like, dude, tell Shane to quit messing with my stuff.
Yeah. And whenever you do change, so Brian and Shane, they work the day shift?
Brian works swing shift.
Swings?
Shane works day shift.
Days. So whenever you change, or and then I guess we'll clarify a little bit. Do you close the door, the blinds, everything?
Blinds, I close the blinds for sure, and depending on if anybody's there or not. So it's only me and 2 officers at night.
Okay.
So if it's in the middle of the night, like when I take off my shirt and I'm stretching and stuff, I don't have to close the door because I have the camera. So I know who's coming in. I can see who's in the parking lot. I can see where you're at through the PD.
So how often do you do that?
Probably like once a week.
Once a week?
Sometimes even more. The night with the sticker, I did it several times. I went in there.
When was that night with the sticker?
I don't remember the exact night. I don't, but it's in the last 2 weeks with the sticker. And I mean, I take it off, I pull it down, and I pull my boob to the side, and I open my bra, and I was trying to pick out the sticker. I mean, if you hear the recording of it, you probably hear me bitching at him, telling him, gosh, don't wash it with the lids closed. So,
And then you stretch at least once to 2 times
a shift.
A shift.
Depending on, like, so, in the past, like, if Brian's there and I have a bra on, which is hardly ever, then I'll take my vest off and I'll take my shirt off. But I'm not going to take my shirt off without a bra in front of the guys. That's just inappropriate, I think. So, like, when I've adjusted my belt or I've adjusted my thing, because, like, I adjusted my gun the other day, right? I got a different holster. So, I took my stuff off. I had it there. One of the guys was helping me adjust it because the tension on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had taken everything off. But I had a long sleeve shirt, I had my bra on, and I had, that. So, I mean, I was covered up. It wasn't just the undergarment to where my nipples are showing. And it's those 32-degree ones from Costco that are see-through. Have you seen those?
Yes, I know.
I don't know. But
It's
he
just,
knows.
yeah,
He's alright.
you're just talking about like a really thin.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only changing station is, like, do you guys have a locker room or no?
We don't have a locker room. We just have bathrooms.
Alright. You have any questions?
Yeah. What was I didn't get Waters' first name.
Gabriel, he used to be a state police officer.
Let's see. And then are you okay if I call you Juan?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I just noticed that you had a lot of knowledge. Do you work for Bernalillo too? Or?
Used to work for Bernalillo, and I'm the clerk treasurer for the town of Edgewood.
Oh, okay.
And got a little bit of knowledge on this because I was the one who installed cameras, like authorized the camera installation in the main town hall area in Bernalillo. Did a complete rebuild in the PD in Edgewood, and my knowledge comes from, like whenever you put them in, the attorneys tell you, like you can't put it in your offices. It's like you can't. It has to, if you put them someplace, it has to be conspicuous. You can't hide them. You absolutely cannot record audio in the audio. The only way you can record audio is like rooms like this, common areas, lobbies where there's interactions with the public. Then people have to have a reasonable expectation of privacy.
That's fine.
So
Go ahead.
that's where my knowledge comes from.
Yes.
That's my job. That's what I do. And
Is he?
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of wondering.
No,
I'm like,
no.
oh, you know a lot. So I'm like, you
Yeah.
work for the department.
well, and then unfortunately, I know BPD SOPs probably better than they do. I know the policies and I know the procedures for
Okay.
IA and all that other stuff
I'm in
because that's what I
Albuquerque
deal
now.
with
I
in
will be there
Edgewood.
as soon as I can.
I'm the clerk treasurer, so I'm the HR. So
Juan's with me right now.
I've got to do all that stuff,
Alright.
So I have not a lot of knowledge of that.
Okay. We might have to cut it short, but
Yeah, I had a couple more, but if we got to
Are
cut
you
it
there?
short, I'll just contact you.
No, she said we can take our time.
oh, you sure?
Yeah, they closed the school down.
No. Okay.
But she said that she'll hold my daughter till then.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I'll try to rush through this.
Thank you.
No, you don't have to rush, sorry.
Okay. I was wondering if there was a way that I could also maybe get a copy of those pictures and the
Sure.
emails, maybe.
Yeah, do you have an email card?
Yeah, I got a card right here, and he's got this.
I don't know how to compress the
it'll be there.
file.
The video.
Yeah, there's video.
To either one of us. But yeah, if you could send like the pictures, the video, even if you have to do it, like,
See, look, there's a perfect view of it pointing down at my desk.
And then you said you didn't know when you changed, right? Well, roughly.
I do it all the time. Like,
Yeah.
it's depending on when they put that camera in, is you're gonna see me without a shirt, or you're gonna see me in a bra. So depending on how long it's been there is what you're gonna see.
All right, and then you saw it in the vents, and then whenever you brought it up, how long before they put it on the wall? If does the question make sense? I probably
No,
said
yes,
it.
yes,
I
yes,
said
yes.
it messed up.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So, my doctor told me to stay home because I freaked out. Because all I could think of is my boobs being on a piece of paper and the guy's drawing on them and making fun of me. Like, it's demoralizing.
Well, the other thing though too is that's all public record.
It's iterable.
It's iterable. So if someone out there now in the public can see my wife, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
she was kind of not beside herself. Sorry,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, you saw me. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep for 3 days. So when Sergeant Searle got there, I think I freaked him out because I was like, just scatterbrained. Anyways, so they gave me the 3 days off. My days off are Friday, Saturday. I went back Sunday. I walked in Sunday. I went straight to my office, and again, there's sheetrock and stuff all over my desk, and there's 2 screws, and the camera's moved.
All right.
and it was just pointing in like normal general direction how it was,
Yeah,
right?
just
Like
kinda stuck on the
mounted
wall.
on the wall.
Here it is. I took
Well, it's a
pictures of
different
it, too.
it's a different
It's a
camera
different
too.
camera.
Well, that's going to be my next question, but
Because it looked like it has
Yeah,
that.
that's like a little dome camera.
dome. The
and
other
then that
one.
one's and the one that was in the vents kind of like
Kinda like
that with the
No, it's like a...
with the LEDs, I guess.
No, let me show you.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, it's got that. What are the looks like it's 3 or 4 of them little sensors on that picture, like for like the infrared stuff.
Mm-hmm. It kind of would. I thought it looked something. Like
Yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks different.
Those you said are the sensors, the little things underneath it.
yeah. So the little things
Like
that's
the
on the cameras. So you can even see them on this camera there. That's the little when
Like this
it's
one.
dark. Those are the infrared sensors, so you can see at night.
These 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Are these okay?
So then there's a little hole on it, and it has a blue light. And so, for our cameras at home, that's the audio on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then did you go back after you noticed the camera on the wall, and then was that other camera removed?
Which other camera?
The one that was in the vent. Was
Yeah,
that
it's
one
gone.
removed?
It's
Okay.
gone. The camera's gone. But what's interesting to me is last night, because Andy called me this morning, he was like, he right away got after me about calling state police. I'm like, you didn't call state police. I called state police. I called state police last week. And my guys don't know I called state police.
Okay.
But tell him what Chapa had told them about the chief said that he knew the camera was there.
Oh yeah, so what he said was, Andy told me, and Andy said you guys can call him. What he told him that night is that it's perfectly legal, his attorney told him it was okay, and that he wasn't the one who authorized it, the town administrator authorized it, but they all knew about it.
And that there was...
That's when the chief spoke to Andy on
that Tuesday night.
And that there was, what, 4 more hidden ones or something like that?
He says 3 times 2, 2 times 3, possible more. Hidden in the PD. So I went and I checked in the bathroom that night. After I went and I checked in the bathroom. So Gabe and I usually eat at 3 o'clock in the common area. And so I told Gabe that night, I was like, no offense, I'm not going in there right now. I'm like, I can't really look at you knowing that these guys have looked at my boobs. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it's on my work phone, but I don't have my work phone.
So you went the following day, the 8th, to see there were more cameras?
No, I hadn't been back till, I wasn't back until the 13th.
The 13th.
You asked me for
Andy said that there were more cameras?
That's what Chief had told him.
Okay.
This is where they moved it now. So there's my desk in the back. And so they moved it from the vent to right there.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys gotta get going and whatnot,
No,
but
take your time.
if you could send us like all the pictures, the memorandum that you showed me as well, and whenever you get a chance to either zip that file or whatever for the video.
I'll have
probably,
to do that.
yeah, I was
because I
like,
can't do
it's
that.
probably harder on the phone. It's probably easier to transfer to the desktop and whatnot.
And I'll send them to both of you.
And then we have to notify still our chain of command because there was just some questions that we need clarification, but I think you kind of clarified most of it right now.
This is creepy.
Is there a way to get a copy of like your policies or anything? I tried to look it up yesterday. It wasn't like on the website or anything like that.
Do I have my jump drive with me?
Not with you, but you've got all of them.
Because for us, like you can go on our website, you can find our policies
all
on there.
right
And then whenever I went to the town of Bernalillo, I
Yeah,
went
it's
to
not
police,
there.
I couldn't find it.
I can pull them up for you.
Thank you.
I don't know if I can.
It'll be a bunch of emails, but because
Oh, you guys don't have like
it should all fit on one. I don't think it's that big of a...
I'm gonna have him do it. I'm not smart enough.
Okay. All right.
Well, and then it's one of those. The stuff that we've got just the ones that they've given her. I don't have like the latest, probably general orders or something
I
from
have that.
this year, but
Okay.
because like she said, those.
Am I wrong for saying something?
for what?
For reporting it? I don't think I'm wrong for reporting
No,
it.
I mean, we're just looking into it and, trying to see what's going on. Definitely we'll have to have our chain of command involved and to see how we go about it as well. Since it's another department, we don't just want to go in there and, disrupting stuff or what, you know what I mean? So I have to notify my chain of command of everything right now. And then go from there and see what's going to happen next.
Do you want Andy's phone number?
I was going to ask for everyone that we mentioned. Brian Dominguez, Shane Hernandez, Andy.
Shane changed his number, so I don't have Shane's number anymore.
Okay. And then, of course, Anthony Armijo and Gabriel Waters. If you have time for that, and if not.
No, I have time. So here is Anthony Jaramillo.
Thank you.
I do have a question though for you
Yes, sir.
guys, because I know you guys can only look into like the state level stuff.
Sure.
What do you guys do when you find like the audio or something like that? Do you guys send that up to Fed or how does that work? Because like I said, that's massively illegal. It's a
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At
Like-
that point, that will be something brand new to me. I could be honest with you guys. If we need to get another entity involved or whatnot, then we'll have to do that. I'm not sure if
so that's my concern
the scope
too.
of it. You know what I mean?
Because like I know you and I, we can be having a conversation. You can be recording me all day and not let me know.
Correct.
But she can be having something in there listening in to you and I
Correct,
conversation.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's where I said it. I know that's not that's federal, that's not state, and that's out of you guys' purview. So
Yeah.
if that does the case, do you guys forward that up or how does
More
that
than likely, we do have a good working relationship with other the AGs, the FBI, we really have a good working relationship with them. But
There's
I mean,
Sergeant Dominguez and Brian Dominguez, so there's two different numbers.
I'm looking at Brian, right?
Yes.
Well, same person.
It's the
right?
same person.
One's his work phone, one's his
Okay.
personal.
I got it.
And the middle one is his wife, sorry.
so we'll probably, see if we're gonna take lead on this, or if we're gonna refer, or like the AGs or whatever. I don't know yet, to be honest.
Okay.
I know that's why we wanted to get. I mean, I'm pretty sure, not sure how long your interview with Searle was, but I'm probably betting this is a little bit longer than. But
It's about the same.
Same. Okay.
He's actually really, really thorough.
Yeah, because I got. I think he just gave me the meat and potatoes, like the skinny of it, but this was a little bit better for me right now. So I need to just, notify my chain of command and then see the direction on how to proceed, and then we'll go from there, and then we could go ahead.
If it wasn't illegal, why did you move it?
I have no idea what they did, why they did. You know what I mean? Obviously, they moved something, and I'm not sure the thought process behind that. I don't know. How long has the chief been the chief?
Since August 3rd.
No.
August 3rd?
He was-
No, I'm lying to you. Yeah, he got hired. Well, I got promoted August 3rd. I'm lying to you. He started October, couldn't start for a month, and then started on November 2nd. So he got hired in October, and then didn't start till November 2nd.
It was one of those, he had the employment contract where he had to give a month's notice.
Oh, okay.
Because of the retirement.
So you promoted August 2020. Right, okay.
Yeah, he was a former BCSO commander.
Okay. And prior to that, did you ever had any issues with him or anything like that?
He
or
filed a complaint on me for being racist. So
before he worked
yes.
for?
So we had a
Okay.
crash on the 550 construction.
Okay.
And so his daughter, so the traffic lanes, the way they went, there was the 3 lanes. So 1, 2, 3, right? So this one is supposed to turn, and the other 2 are going straight. Well, instead of turning, his daughter cut in, and she hit a car. So my officer cited her. So he calls me in the morning and says he wants to file a complaint on the officer who handled. So he talked, and it should be recorded through dispatch. And so at the time, Sergeant Darrell Sanchez is the one who investigated it. Well, he called Darrell and told Darrell that we were racist because she was black, that's why we cited her. Well, she was at fault for the crash. So they did a little investigation, and it was found unfounded. So, I mean, there's that prior history. So, but since he started, he's been like nonstop with me. So, to be honest with you, I think it's him who put the camera in there.
Okay, when you mean he's been nonstop, like?
So, like, I got written up for the guys, so I was on vacation, right, for my hunt.
Uh-huh.
So one of the officers turned in a report late. So I didn't get the report while I'm on vacation. There's no way I can
Obviously, yeah, you can't prevent
check it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I get back the night of the 4th, and so the officer's standing right there, and so I tell him, what the F, why did you turn this in so late? Why didn't you give it to another supervisor? And he tells me, I know, my bad, I should have turned it into Brian. And I was like, dude, you can't be doing this. I'm like, I'm telling you, you need to start turning in your stuff at the end of shift.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I gave him the verbal reprimand, and I told him, this is unacceptable. So I have court with the town of Bernalillo on the 16th, November 16th, and so what they tried to do is they tried to waive jurisdiction, and they tried to get my case thrown out. So the judge continued the case for us to be able to go forward, and then I got written up that evening. And so for Andy not turning in his report.
No, for you not
approving the
approving
report.
the report.
Okay. Right.
Basically, the report was 9 days late, and it's like, well, he turned it in when you were gone.
And she didn't get it because you're out. Okay.
So then I told him, I'm like, this is common practice, to be honest with you. I mean, so I printed out the log, and I went back till October, and I said, hey, wait a minute. You don't require photographs or statement forms ever. I do it because that's just me. That's how I was taught back home. I was like, but the majority of the officers don't do that. And I was like, he's never been, required to do it before. Why all of a sudden are you going to change it? So I wrote my rebuttal for it and basically told him this isn't common. So then he turned around and he sends out an email to everybody, to the other two sergeants, and tells them, hey, you guys have a bunch of unapproved reports from the last month and you need to fix it. But he doesn't write them up. He only writes me up. And so it's been little things like that since he started.
Okay. All right.
It's
do you
just
have anything
weird.
No, just whenever you can email the rest of this.
I'll email from my car. on my way home.
No,
Yeah.
take your time. I know you got your kids stuff going on too. So.
Yeah, I don't have any questions right now, but if something comes up, then I'll probably give you a call, and then we'll clarify it, and then go from there. But I mentioned I'll actually notify my chain of command and loop them in, and then get a better direction as far as how to proceed and what to, since it involves another department, so there has to be some sort of communication and something, So I'm gonna do that and wait for a response from them, and then and you'll know. I'm pretty sure if we move forward with it, then you'll know, based on probably the people that you gave us. They're gonna be like, hey, state police is calling or whatever. So you'll know. If something major changes, then I'll let you know regardless.
Every time my case moves forward or we have a hearing, something happens.
What do you mean?
Something happens, like the cameras in the office, or, I get written up, or I get in trouble for something. Something happens every time we have court.
Okay. And that's because of the litigation that you're currently
Yes.
involved from. Okay. All right.
And I think they put it in there to, either, just make me look bad, you know what I mean? Why else would you want to see me change?
Yeah.
Seriously. If you were so worried about what the sergeants are doing, just put it in there. Let us know what we're doing. Or tell me, hey, Monica, don't change in here.
Yeah. Nothing ever was
No.
addressed, anything like that.
Never. I wouldn't have done that if I would have known.
Correct. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I think that's all I have for right now, but I'll definitely be in touch, either myself or Agent Murphy. We'll be in touch, and I mentioned this is kind of odd situation, to be honest. So we want to look into it, but be delicate but still be thorough and get a good perspective as how to proceed with this.
Okay.
So, but we'll definitely be in contact. Okay.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sorry to
Anything else
waste your
before? No? Okay. And then